All right, welcome back to what was it called again?
Lethally stupid.
Literally
Yeah.
stupid.
Hey, we'll get
Right,
it
right.
eventually.
Yeah. I still have four or five names that come to mind.
It's well,
um,
it was so long ago when we talked about doing it, and the last time we really talked about it a bunch was when we had people voting on the name. So it makes sense.
yeah. Oh yeah, because it definitely went on hiatus for a long time.
Yeah.
But now I'm working, and we should have just started with what we had to begin with anyway.
Yeah, we
So,
probably should have. Oh
but
shit.
now we're still closer to getting the upgraded tech
Yeah.
than we would have been.
Yeah, very true.
So.
But so the last time we recorded was a couple days ago, which that episode will be out soon, and we talked about Microsoft buying Activision and Blizzard, and literally the next day, which was yesterday, Sony announces, "Hey, we bought Bungie,"
Yeah,
which
that was
it
pretty
was
great.
nowhere near the same like amount for like the purchase, but it was still billions of
Right.
dollars. It was
But
$3.6 billion. It was like, damn. But
I don't think that's just a coincidence. I think they were sending a message or something. Like,
that they
oh, you can
announced
do
it
this.
then,
Well,
yeah.
look what we can do.
But there were a lot of people who reacted and uh, like they thought PlayStation made this deal in a day. It's like no, like these huge businesses don't make these kinds of deals in one day. They've obviously been talking to Bungie for probably months, maybe even a little over a year. You know,
Well,
maybe even longer.
I think companies like that will have like certain negotiations with bigger companies as a plan B for,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Well, Bungie when
their
they first started, I believe they were owned by Microsoft for like 11 years or something like that during when they made Halo, and
Mhm.
then they sold the rights to Halo and they became independent, and that's when they made Destiny for Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and then they partnered up with Activision actually, and then they got out of the partnership with Activision because I think they knew the kind of shit that was going on with them because there's always been controversy around them, especially the last like year because of like the sexual harassment and bullshit like that. Um,
Mhm.
and then Bungie was by themselves for a while, and now they're backed up by Sony. So yeah, they've probably been talking to them for a while, is my guess. At
Yeah,
least a few months, I'd say.
yeah, and then
Probably
with
since
the
they left
I,
the partnership with Activision is probably when they started. Probably shortly after.
um Yeah, because like as soon as they saw that Microsoft like bought or did this deal, then
Mm-hmm.
they immediately probably decided to
They're
pull
like,
the
yeah, they
challenge.
probably already had it finalized, but they weren't announcing it yet. But they're like, let's go ahead and announce it. Screw it, So,
Yeah,
which it still took like a week, a little over a week for them to announce that. But I mean, they still did it. They're still like, hey, here we go. And a lot of people I also saw. Apparently, there's rumors, and this is probably just like fan rumors, that PlayStation is going to buy Konami.
which what all games do they have? Because I don't really
Konami,
know.
I don't. I mean, mainly like Metal Gear Solid. I think.
Oh yeah,
I think that's
but
what they
that
have.
I thought that wasn't that Microsoft exclusive,
Uh,
Xbox exclusive.
no, no, no. The pretty much all of the Metal Gears have been on multiple platforms. Back in the day, I think there was some that were PlayStation exclusive. So,
Oh, okay then.
but I
Yeah.
know for sure at least 4 and 5 were multi-platform. But those are the most recent ones. Like 5 was probably like 2015, maybe open world, um, and it was definitely on Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and Sons of the Patriots was episode which was part 4. That was like maybe around the time like that would have been mid to late 2000s, maybe early 2010s, and that was definitely on like the PS3 and Xbox 360 both. Uh, but I can't really think of anything else Konami owns because I don't really play a lot of Konami games.
Yeah, and I'm sure I have. I
Oh,
know I
I'm
don't
sure we
play
have. I'm sure there's so many that I
solid.
played that I just can't think of because I probably played a bunch when I was a kid, but recent years, no, there's not really any that I've played because Hideo Kojima, he's the guy who made the Metal Gear Solid games. He used to work at Konami. That's where those games came from, was because of him. And then he left Konami and he made Death Stranding. Yeah,
Which I have not played that either, so I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, I've played it a little bit. It's a very interesting game. It's very weird, but it's very good all at the same time because that's how Hideo Kojima games are. And I know Gabe has played it a lot, our D&D buddy.
Oh.
uh, but
Well, what I was wanting to ask you, like, with so did Bungie, like, how much of the original Halo rights did they own? How much did PlayStation obtain to where? How are they making money, basically?
I
Like,
honestly don't know. That's only things
oh,
I've
okay.
heard, like speculation, is that maybe Bungie still owns a tiny amount of Halo, which, I mean, I don't really see how because they don't work on it anymore at all. I mean, they haven't since Halo Reach. That's after Halo Reach, they sold the rights to Microsoft and 343 Industries. And so I'm not really sure. I think PlayStation mainly bought them, or Sony rather, because they can back up Bungie now. Like Bungie has a powerhouse with a ton of money in their corner, so now they can bring out better content. They can bring out more content. They can make Destiny 2 just better in general, because they don't really work on Destiny anymore, the first one. And Bungie has said they have a bunch of different IPs that are in their incubator right now, just ready to like start working on and make. So they're gonna start making a bunch of games here pretty soon, is my guess. Maybe when they're done with Destiny, they'll start bringing out a bunch of different games. But if they're shooters, then they're gonna be successful because Bungie makes shooting games feel really good. Because I'm not even. I used to play Destiny a lot. I liked the grind and all that fun stuff, but now I don't have the time for the grind. But every once in a while, I still get that itch just because the shooting in Bungie games feels so good.
Yeah, but now that now that with the transition, how can you expect that same feel to continue?
I mean, Bungie said in their tweet whenever they announced that Sony had bought them, Bungie still has 100% full creative freedom of themselves.
Oh, nice.
Sony is just their backer, just their owner and backer now. But Sony and Bungie both said, "Oh yeah, we're us Bungie. We're in control of everything we do. Like they're gonna let us make whatever the fuck we want to make because they're cool like that, I guess." Whenever they were working with Activision got too involved, and Bungie didn't like that. And I think towards the end of Halo, like them working on Halo, I think Microsoft maybe started to get too hands-on with stuff, and they weren't a fan of that. With Sony being like, "Oh yeah, do whatever you want," they're probably like, "Oh yeah, buy us right now," because that's how Bungie likes to work. They want to be in full creative control of their properties. So if Sony's going to let them do that, then obviously they're like, "Yeah, fucking sold."
That was a perfect fit.
I mean, that's what Bungie wants, and Sony was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And a lot of people freaked out about it, kind of like when Microsoft bought Activision. But then Sony came out and said, "Oh, Bungie will still be on everything, or Destiny will still be on everything." So it's also kind of a little I don't know, talking a little bit of shit towards Xbox because Xbox hasn't really said too much about all of the properties that they now own being still on PlayStation. They've only said something about Call of Duty. They haven't really said anything about anything else.
The one I'm sure that they thought people would be the most worried about.
Call of Duty, yeah.
There's got to be a good amount of them going to be exclusive.
But they haven't given a 100% straight answer yet for like Elder Scrolls. Like, it's only speculated at this point that it probably will be exclusive. We don't have a straight answer yet. Which I know, if they do make it exclusive, oh well, I'll own an Xbox and I'll play the new one. But like Colton, a friend of ours, he loves Elder Scrolls games, and there's a good chance he just doesn't play the next one because he doesn't want to know an Xbox.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
He's a PlayStation boy, so he always has been and always will be. And I just own them all because I'm a gamer.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to buy Xboxes as much as I can too, but I don't know about the next one.
I
Like I
don't.
didn't play the one or the Xbox One at all.
Yeah, I didn't play much of it. I mainly got an Xbox One because of Sunset Overdrive, the one Insomniac
Mhm.
title that's Xbox only. And it was great.
And
And
what?
then I remembered I love the Forza series, which I normally hate racing games, but Forza's actually good, so I played a lot of Forza. I
Uh,
did do a lot of that. Which I don't remember
so,
what we have in our notes. We now have a little group
yeah,
chat, everybody, for our notes. So, um,
the dumpster.
yeah, the dumpster, we call it,
Or
because it's just where we're going to
the
dump shit we
dumpster.
want to talk about and remind ourselves later. Like
Which
here.
I think that, like, on the note of Call of Duty, they did.
Oh, that's
So
what you put in there, yeah.
I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't think it's confirmed, but it's rumored that Dwayne the Rock Johnson is going to be starring in a new Call of Duty movie.
Yeah,
I've
the
heard
video game
they're
movie
not going
Dwayne Johnson was talking about. I did not know what it was going to be, and then whenever you sent me that article, I was just like, "Damn, all right, that'll suck."
I unless they can somehow pull it off, I just don't see how they can do it.
Dude, I'm afraid for the Uncharted movie. I love Tom Holland and I love Uncharted. Um, and Mark Wahlberg's a great actor, but uh, I'm still worried about it. I mean, I know I'll like it. I just want it to be successful. I'm worried it's not going to be.
I think it will just for the fact of
Just for
Tom
the fact
Holland
Tom
stuff.
Holland's in it will
Yeah.
definitely be a big boost, and he's playing a younger Nathan Drake, so
Uh-huh.
it works. It'll probably have its own storyline. It'll be similar to the games, but not exactly like the games because I mean we've already
Well,
all played the games, So
yeah. Well, and if he's playing the younger version, then they're probably setting him up to play the older version down the line.
yeah, I
Still,
mean yeah for sure, and
if he's still famous and still Spider-Man,
yeah.
then.
Well, so today I saw a thing that he said. They're only talking about the script hasn't even been made. Nothing has been made for Spider-Man 4 yet. They just know they're going to make another
Right.
trilogy, so it's all just talks right now, and that's why he said he doesn't know if he'll be playing with Spider-Man anymore. But the lady who I can't remember if produces or directs the Spider-Man movies, she's like, if I have it my way, Tom Holland will be Spider-Man in the next trilogy also, and I was like, good, because I want him to
I
continue being Spider-Man. Which I don't
I
see why
think
he
it will
wouldn't. He
be.
did say he can't see himself playing Spider-Man when he's 30, but the first time Tobey Maguire played Spider-Man, he was like 30. So,
Oh, so was Andrew.
oh yeah, he was close. He
Yeah,
wasn't
I
as
just
old as
looked that up
Tobey, but it
today.
was like Jesus.
Yeah, and yeah, well, I think Andrew was like 28. I think maybe.
Yeah, it was. I
But
mean, yeah, it was close, but it might as well be 30. Yeah,
right. That's the thing. That was like him getting older is great. I want to see an adult Spider-Man.
oh yeah,
They've all just been teenagers going through high school throughout all the
yeah. I want to
trilogies.
see a Spider-Man go through college
Right.
because
Or
that's
well,
what a lot of the cartoons and like the shows are. Any cartoons that
oh
have been
yeah.
done of Spider-Man, he's always in college. Or any
Oh, I didn't.
games, is like he's always in college. It's never been high school. Those are only the movies. Those are the only time they ever do a high school Peter Parker. Everything else, every other form of media is like, oh no, he's in college. He's been Spider-Man for a while. Or like in the
Uh,
Spider-Man PS4 game, he's been Spider-Man for like 8 years. Like that's how long he's been doing it. And
damn.
he's like at the end of his college. He might already be out of college even. Like that's how old he is in the first Spider-Man PS4 game.
So a couple things I wanted to talk about in this podcast.
Yeah.
Uh, first a video game, then about an anime. So,
Oh boy.
Legends Arceus. Have you started that yet?
Yes, I finally started it. It's been very enjoyable so far. I think my Pokemon are only at like I think my highest level one is like maybe 15, 17, something like that. I haven't gotten super far in it yet.
That's pretty far though. Like
I'm comparing
that's a
myself to my two of my coworkers who are playing it. One of them's highest level is like 50, so and I think Colton's at like level 25, something like that. Like
hmm
he's a little bit further than me. Uh, But yeah, no, I've been enjoying it so far. The only thing that I'm probably not gonna like is that gyms are missing. But at the same time, I'll probably get over it because
Right.
it's just been fun to experience a different kind of Pokemon game. Uh,
Right.
I like running around and surprising Pokemon, like catching them from behind. It's been very enjoyable.
See, in this Pokedex, there's only like 240 Pokemon,
Yeah,
so
it's
I
like
think
it's a yeah.
I get it filled out in no time.
I also
Like,
feel like though this game has room to grow where they could add expansions where maybe eventually they just have
I
every
think they will.
Pokemon in the game.
I think they will expand on the game with DLC or something. But yeah, they probably will add more Pokemon. But with how little Pokemon were in this like basic
Hmm.
game, I like they might max out at like 400.
And it's probably the case. It's just wishful thinking that like
Right.
eventually we got to get a Pokemon game that has all of them. Like we need it.
Right.
we,
Right.
we we
Which
need a Pokemon game that's like, oh shit, I have to catch 1,300 Pokemon. Sweet, sign me up.
uh well, like when you think about it, like I thought this game was gonna be the one to introduce like the missing like 60 or so Pokemon from all the previous gens that have not been featured in Gen 8.
Oh
But now we're
yeah,
due for the like now they're all not in this one. And now we're due for the next game to be the beginning of Gen 9, and
yeah.
they're still nowhere to be found, and there's no promise of them. So I'm wondering if they're going to start having Pokemon lost in Gen. Like,
Maybe.
just do what?
I said maybe, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've had like exclusive Pokemon that can't be like transferred over to the newest generation or something like that before,
I
and
do need
now
Pokemon Home to just be like, hey, here's Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl finally connected, and then when Arceus is connected to Home, that'll be great too.
yeah. Which speaking of Diamond and Pearl, I want to talk about my Pokedex. I
Yes.
have I have like 420 of them filled out of like 495, I think,
Yeah.
maybe. Um, like right now, I have almost every Pokemon that's obtainable in Pearl. The
Okay.
only one that I have not been able to encounter yet is, besides like the event ones, is Slaking, I think his name is.
Yeah.
The sloth Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen him
He's
before.
part Yeah, he's part of the swarms where you have to wait for him to pop up in the overworld
Yeah.
that's like on a random day. They have one Pokemon per day. It's been like 30 days and there's only 20 different available Pokemon, and it keeps repeating the same one sometimes. It's
Yeah.
done one,
Not
times.
not the one you need. Yeah.
That's the only one I fucking need. And then besides that, I have to find a Sunstone to I think I have to get a Blossom.
A
I,
Blossom. Yeah.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. But and then Hitmontop, which is
Mm.
the fucking worst evolution I've had to ever fucking deal with, because you
Not a
have to
fun
get
one.
special items.
Yep.
Do what?
I said he's not a fun one. That's for sure.
No, no, fuck no. I've never even evolved one before. I've always just traded one in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so as soon as the home update comes out, I think I will have every single one of those filled, all the entries filled out,
Yeah.
except for Celebi. That's the only one I will not, and it's the Gen 2 Mythical.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
That's like one of
I
Colton's favorite Pokemon of all time. He loves Celebi.
oh,
Yeah.
that's cute.
Yeah. He likes Mystic Pokemon. But that one's definitely one of his
They're great.
favorites. I think Gen 2 might have been when he started playing Pokemon, so that's probably a big reason why.
Get right. I think that's when like everyone started playing Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't really play too much Pokemon when I was a kid. I played some, but not a lot. So I don't even remember what my first one was. I feel like it was maybe Yellow. Might have been Yellow, but I
Oh, that
don't
was a
know
good.
for sure.
Um, Okay, so the anime I want to talk about,
Yeah.
One Piece.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
currently on episode like
Yes.
25,
Yeah.
and so far my favorite like story arc has been the Honorable Liar. And do you remember much from that?
Is that where they get Usopp?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
good old
Yeah.
Usopp.
Colton fucking hates Usopp.
I don't blame him, but I mean, like if you watch that story, he's actually like, well, okay, it's really sad because there's a reason to his lying. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so his dad was a pirate and left and never came back, and so
Yeah.
like he won't like in desperation of his father like arriving, he would just run into town and just yell, "The pirates are coming!" in hopes that it was true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, that was just depressing.
Yeah. Yep. He's So, do you know what ethnicity all of the I'm guessing what are there four straw hats where you're at right now?
It's where do I?
Like, are there four members of the crew right now?
Oh, they're about to get the chef guy. I
They're
don't
about to
remember
get
his
number
name.
five. Okay.
Yeah.
But so out of the four that you know of, like the four crew members you've met, do you know what their ethnicities are supposed to be?
Um,
Because creator has said what like where they'd come from if they were from Earth.
is it like spread out pretty well?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No one's like
Uh,
the same place at all.
okay. Uh, Usopp, I think, would be Italian.
No, he's black.
Oh, he's black.
He's black. He's the only black member of the crew.
All right, all right.
I forget which country he's supposed to be from, but he's black.
I gotcha. Is it? I'm guessing that they're. Oh, never mind, never mind. It's a dumb question. Uh, okay, so is Yuffie American?
Luffy? Nah, he ain't American.
uh,
There's a later
Japanese.
member who is American though, is what he said. So
Oh, sweet.
yeah, and you'll know which one's the American when you meet this character.
Okay.
Like you'll
Um.
know.
Uh. So is he supposed to be like Chinese or Japanese or
Luffy is Brazilian.
Brazilian?
Yeah, yeah, he is
Okay,
Hispanic.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
And
All right.
what do you think about
Uh,
Nami?
Nami.
Uh huh.
That one's hard.
None of them are like not all of them are like country specific. Some are like region specific.
Okay. Gosh, I don't know. Is she Canadian?
She no, there is one that will be Canadian though, but she's
Well, goddamn.
European. Um,
Oh, she's supposed to be European.
yeah, just straight up European.
Oh, okay.
She's probably like Swedish or some Switzerland, something like that would be my best guess for what she's supposed to be. And then there's Zoro. What do you think about Zoro?
South America, maybe.
No, he's Japanese.
Oh, he's Japanese.
Yeah, he'd be the Japanese
Oh,
one out of the crew.
well, for one, Japanese animation does not look Japanese. They
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, well, especially
Oh,
old style One Piece and the way the One Piece artwork is, they don't, they're not drawn like typical other shonen or action manga and anime. So, I mean, characters are very bizarre in One Piece, and that's on purpose. It's supposed to be, a funny show, but then it ends up being way more than just funny. There's all kinds of drama and backstories. There's a ton of stuff that you haven't even seen yet. It's one of the best shows I've ever watched. That's for sure.
very
I
excited.
love it. Colton's at like 200 episodes now. At first he didn't really like it, but he was sticking it through because he likes Luffy a lot. Thinks he's a great character, and now at the point that he's at, he like today at work was like, dude, I can't wait to go home and watch One Piece. I'm like, that's right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know it.
will
So
be.
who's your favorite character? Like where you're at so far?
My favorite character,
Mm-hmm.
probably Yuffie
Luffy.
or Luffy.
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep thinking it's Yuffie.
Yeah.
Luffy.
Luffy. Yeah.
Yeah, Monkey D. Luffy.
Yeah. And mine's Zoro. I love Zoro.
I had a
Which
feeling you say
which
that.
Colton doesn't understand that yet, and I mean you won't quite get it yet either. But he has his moments as the show goes on. Like there's always like an MVP of like every arc. Most of the time it's Luffy because he's the captain, he's the main character. But there's certain arcs where other members of the crew, and sometimes not even members of the crew, other characters are going to be the ones who stole the show for like that for an entire arc, with like how they were the entire time, or maybe just one moment. And Zoro has quite a few of those later on in the show, where it's just like he was a badass.
Nice.
Do you know
Uh,
who all the future characters are, like what they are, or you don't know much about it, do you?
I don't know anything really about the future. I don't know a single spoiler, to be honest. I can't think
Good.
of
Don't look
anything.
up anything at all. You don't want
Okay.
it spoiled for you. I mean, I know it's old, but yeah, don't look up anything. Uh, I told
Right.
Colton that
Well,
too because there's certain things that he asks me, and I'm just like, just watch.
well, with the One Piece D&D we're in the middle of, I'm
Yes,
afraid that it is going to get spoiled here and there, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean,
I
out of
don't
the half
think
episodes,
Soren will do any huge spoilers. He might like name
right?
drop characters you don't know who they are yet, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not gonna say anything that would spoil like plot points or story or emotional moments or anything like that for you. I don't
Yeah.
think he's gonna do that. But he'll probably mention characters and maybe places, but it won't be anything too bad. Um,
Right.
because
Well, he kind of ran the show, so.
yeah, and oh yeah, that's something I'm down to tell our viewers about. We are going to be playing a One Piece D&D, and a little disclaimer because there is a popular One Piece D&D already on like Spotify and YouTube. There's these like four different YouTubers, or no, sorry, five different YouTubers that do a One Piece D&D together that they live stream on Twitch. I'm 100% certain that Soren had this idea before they ever started doing it. I'm not going to say that it was Soren's idea, like he's the first person who ever thought of it, but we're also not doing it for money like they are. Like they're doing it for fun, obviously, but they're also making money. We're doing it to hang out with our buddies and have fun, so which they are
Right.
too. It's just
Right. And
like
we don't
we're.
care
I
about it.
just want to let people
Right.
know our DM, Mr. Soren, one of our very good buddies,
Mhm.
did not copy off of these guys. Because he talked about it a long time ago, way before this would have ever started. Uh, and I was like, yeah, I'm fucking down. That sounds fun as shit. And you, I know you're super happy with your devil fruit power because it sounded
Yeah.
awesome to you when you got it.
Yeah, hell, let's fucking talk about our characters for a minute.
Might as well because I don't really have any notes for this one, for this podcast, so I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of things here that we can always resort to. I wrote that I was playing Stardew, which I stopped playing, so I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then also, I also wrote down that we watched Scooby Doo, the live action Scooby Doo, the other day. Me and Kaylee, it was great. We loved
Yeah.
it. Of
Yeah,
course,
but yeah, I'm really excited for the One Piece D&D because this might have been like it's probably almost 2 years ago at this point. Soren had all of us like roll for our devil fruits.
really, what 2 years? Well,
I
I mean,
mean,
we rolled.
we
I
started
rolled
talking
for
about it a long time ago. I was one of the first people to
okay.
roll for my devil fruit. He had to ask me like a year ago. Do you remember what you rolled? And I was like, oh hell yeah, I remember what I rolled. And but it was almost 2 years ago for sure that he was like, "Hey, go ahead and roll for your devil fruit if you want." And I was like, "Cool." I did it here at home. I told him the number I got. He had me roll. I can't remember what he had me roll. I think it was a D100, and tell me. He's like, "Tell me what number you rolled," and I was like, 12. I got a 12, and he's like, and he already knew that one of my favorite characters is a guy named Smoker, who is not a pirate. He is a marine, and he has the smoke fruit. And he's like, "You're not gonna believe this, but you just got the smoke fruit." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Just because I love the character so much. So I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I have his devil fruit. I'm super happy.
Which what does that do?
He can turn into smoke, create smoke, and control smoke at will. Yeah.
Nice.
Uh,
You and I, we have such cool ones.
oh yeah. Yeah. So you heard of the different typings of devil fruits at where you're at in the story? Because
No.
there's three types. So there's um, the more common one, which are paramecia. That's what Luffy has. He has a paramecia fruit, which is an extremely wide range of powers. They can be almost anything. And then there's Zoan. Zoan types are the ones that let you turn into a different, like a kind of animal. And then there's like a hybrid form. And then there's your normal human form. Uh, and then there's a third type called a Logia, which is based off of elements, where you turn into that element, you can create that element, and you can control that element. And the people who have Logia fruits, in the show at least, they can't be hurt by normal attacks. Like, because they're made out of an element. It's like someone goes to hit them with a
Yeah.
sword, like my guy who's made out of smoke, his body would just turn to smoke and the sword would go through him, he'd take no damage at all. That's how it works in the show. In D&D, it's different. I already saw what my powers can do. I'll still take damage, but it's a way less amount than normal because I have a fucking Logia fruit.
Right.
um,
So my fucking fruit, the chop chop fruit,
yes, amazing.
I'm so excited about using. Just mainly because, like, fuck, I got, on top of being a long-limbed being,
Yeah.
I got that fucking range, and then I can just, like, pop my arm off and fucking send it one way at
Dude, you're
everyone.
gonna have the most melee range out of anybody in the party. Not only as a long-limbed human, but you can send your fist like 50 feet away, holding one of the swords, and hit somebody with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Right.
It's like you don't need ranged weapons at all. Literally none at all. And if someone's hiding behind cover, you can take both of your hands and use like your bow and arrow, and just take it behind somebody. Like
Mm-hmm.
point it, like get it right next to them because they're behind cover, and go wham.
Yes. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be fucking mowing down these motherfuckers.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, I talked to Soren.
Mm-hmm.
Um, inspired by Zoro, and I don't know if you want to do this, but he said that we can find a way to do three sword style.
I was gonna ask him about that, but I decided I don't want to make um, like I didn't want to make my character basically a mixture of my like favorite characters in the show. I already got one of them's fruit. I'm already the vice captain like Zoro is. So I'm like, all right, I'll keep it at that. I'm happy with those similarities between my favorite characters and my D&D character. At that, that's probably where I'm gonna stop. So
Well, I think it might be perfect for me because if I can hold a third sword in my mouth also, or my head can also
oh
come
no,
up.
it's perfect for you. It totally makes sense. Like
Right.
100%. You were also one of the only three people to roll and get hockey, which makes
Yes.
me super
Which,
jealous.
can you explain that to me again? Because I don't think I fully remember.
Okay, so in the One Piece world, so you know in like Dragon Ball it's like energy, like they use ki.
Mm-hmm.
In Naruto it's called chakra because they're ninjas. Um, in One Piece it's called hockey. It is basically just spiritual energy. Oh, you went away. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just spiritual energy. It's like their willpower that they can turn into
Mm-hmm.
different kind of powers. Everyone has the ability to learn it, but most people don't in the One Piece world. There's three different types. The first one is observation hockey, which is the one you didn't get. There's two common types: observation and armament. You got armament, which is really good for like attacking and defense. Observation is for like almost like a sixth sense. Like someone could be behind you, swing their weapon at you, but because you have this hockey, you can sense that someone's attacking you and you can dodge it. Um, and so that's observation is just like extra senses. Like you're really good at sensing danger and all kinds of other things. Some people use it in different ways. In the show later, there's a guy who's so good with with observation hockey that he can see a little bit into the future. And there's a blind guy who has it who basically isn't blind because his observation hockey's so good. Uh, and
So what about the other one? What is
so
that?
armament, you'll see it later in the show. So like, eventually Luffy will use it. It's like this black energy that goes around people, he hardens his arm like so it turns black, and he does extra damage with it, and he can use it as a defense. Like if someone's gonna hit him with something like another really strong attack, someone else is using hockey, he can block it with his arm like no problem because it's basically like a black steel that's made from their willpower. And that's what you have, and you can put it on your weapons too. Because Zoro in One Piece, he covers his sword in it with hockey, so his sword attacks become even stronger. And him and Luffy already both have superhuman strength, and then they put hockey on top of it, and they're even stronger. So you got armament hockey. You can use it as a defense and as offense. You're gonna kick ass with it. And then in the One Piece world, there's a third kind. You have to have, if you have the third kind, you basically have the ability to learn all three like super easily. Like you can learn the other two really easily after that. Most people don't learn the third type until they've already learned the other two. And not everyone has the third kind. It's like 1 in 10 million people have it or something like that. And it's called Conqueror's Hockey. Because only conquerors can have it, and that is straight up willpower dominating other people's willpower. That's that power. In the show, there's moments where someone with it can just walk into an army of like 20,000 people and activate their Conqueror's Hockey, and it knocks them all out.
Damn.
Because their willpower is stronger than all of those people's willpower. So they just activate it and it knocks them all out. It's just like, hey, I'm a badass, and then they activate it, and there's like a shockwave of, their willpower basically, and everyone who isn't strong-willed enough they get knocked out instantly. And there's some people in the show whose Conqueror's Hockey is so strong it damages physical objects too. And that's I'm excited because eventually we're gonna learn hockey, is how Soren put it. And normally, not like in the One Piece world, not every member of the crew gets all three forms of hockey. It sounds like by the end of it, all of us will have at least Observant and Armament. I think he might try and limit how many of us get Conquerors, though.
Right.
Because it only makes sense.
Now I understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if my character will be one. I want to unlock it, but I don't know if my character's goal is good enough for it. Or if my character will become close enough to anyone else's characters to like really want to protect them so much that they activate it themselves, kind of a thing. Because there's different ways that people activate it in the show. But as long as like 3 of us get it, I'll be happy as like a member, like a player in the game. I'm hoping like 3 of us get it. And I'm hoping Slater's one of them because he's the fucking captain. So I'm hoping he unlocks it like really badly. and of course,
protect the captain.
yeah, and of course I want it, but I don't have to have it. I'm gonna be happy with the other 2. That's really all I need to like really make myself feel like I'm having a ton of fun with my character eventually. I just need those 2. If I have the third one, sweet, but I'm not gonna be upset if I don't get it. I really want because Soren told me he might have it. People activate it by circumstance, like if most of the party is getting our asses kicked in a fight and it's a really dire situation or something really bad happens, he might have one of the characters unlock it in that situation because they're so emotionally attached to whatever is happening in the story at the moment. And I'm like, now that would be awesome if we didn't just roll and unlock it like the other ones. If it happens by circumstance, I think that'll be really fun. So I'm hoping he goes with that plan because I think it would be dope.
Nice. All right, man. Well, I think we have just about a full podcast.
Do we? Damn, that fucking time flew on this one.
Right.
Because it felt like last time whenever we did it, I didn't feel like it got really fast until after the first, like half of it. Because I looked at the time and I was like, oh, we've been doing this for like 40 minutes. And then the next 35 minutes went by extremely fast.
That's how I feel at work. If I can get in like 8 hours, then like overtime is just butter because you feel so much more about it. It's something where it. Well, I guess depending on the job, but for me, it was extra money, and I could opt out at any time. Like I could just go home and leave. It
Right.
was optional.
Yeah.
So
With
great.
with my job, it's the morning that drags, and then as soon as afternoon hits, time flies by. I really love the days where the whole day flies by. That's for sure.
Well, and I think at my new job, with the fact that I'll just be like wearing a headset, getting one call after another, and I'm expected to take like on average 5 calls in an hour.
Yeah,
Um, that I think will make the day go by.
it probably will. And
Yeah,
you said you're working with like a router company or something. Like you're going to probably be talking to people about routers
it
most of the time.
yeah, it is a third party uh like call support center. So yeah,
So you're going to get a lot of old people who don't know to unplug their
mhm.
router for 30
And
seconds.
their biggest client does satellite.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so
So you're going to turn them like
uh,
go turn it a little bit. Maybe the signal will
right,
get stronger.
right. Well, apparently, like they say it can get pretty silly a lot of the time, but
I
there
believe
is
it.
some crazy shit that happens. Like he was telling me a story how one guy told the like customer to try a different outlet with the router,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason the customer thought he said unplug it from the router and somehow jam the power cord into a different hole. Long story short, he plugs it in, sets it on fire.
Jesus.
And yeah, and he said by the end of training he'll look up that like recording and play it for us. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, a lot of people are really bad with tech sometimes. Like, I'm no genius with it, but if someone said, oh, try a different outlet, I would not plug something that obviously doesn't go into another spot in my router into the wrong spot. I'd be like, oh, plug it into a different electrical outlet? Okay.
Right. Yeah, like fuck.
Like,
That's why I'm
that
scared of
seems like
like
common
people.
knowledge. That one surprises me, and it's funny
Right.
too. But
It.
that is
I.
surprising.
I'm so excited for my like new library of stories I'll have to tell from
Oh,
this
it'll
new.
be, dude, it'll be amazing. Because my,
Hey,
go ahead.
sorry, go on. Oh, we need like a podcast to talk about our experience at Walmart. Like,
Uh, dude, I'm down if we do it sometime. We can do it soon if you want.
yeah, we got. I mean, we do pretty good talking about one thing for about 30 minutes, so we might as well.
Yeah, I mean, heck, if you want to do it for the third one later this week, I'm down to do it, or whenever you want to do it.
Sure. Well, why don't we go ahead and end this podcast for now?
Yeah, yeah, end it whenever you want,
Um,
buddy. Because I don't know,
yep.
like I said, I had no notes. I was like, man, I hope he has stuff to talk about, and I hope things come up that we can talk about, and it did. It worked out.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening or watching, whichever
Yeah,
platform you're
yeah,
on.
yeah. Whichever way you do it, yay.
Yeah. Uh, I guess new videos we're gonna try to do Wednesday and maybe Fridays.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll do two every week, but
Yeah.
Wednesday,
It,
Friday is probably going to be one of those days. Going to be the normal until we finally get into the full rhythm of it, and we'll probably set one of those days for podcast day, um, which I'd say Wednesday and Friday are good days for it. One of those will be what we do
yeah.
for sure.
Yep. So there'll be either a video on Wednesday, Friday, or both.
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you guys
Yep.
enjoyed, and hope you guys join us for the next one. And I hope you guys keep watching because we want to keep doing it, and we're probably going to do it anyways because it's fun
Right.
and that's something we've wanted to do for a long time. But yeah, thanks again. Hope you guys enjoyed, and toodles.
Bye.